Greetings trainers, KuroBlitz here, and welcome back to another video. Today I am here to talk about the character from the Pokémon Journeys anime, as well as a character that has been since the original series, and that is the character of Lance from the Kanto Elite Four, who, as we all know, could be the Johto champion too if the writers decide to, create the characters of Will and Karen. But besides that, the character of Lance has been reintroduced to the Pokémon Journeys anime on the 12th episode of the series, as he was the runner-up of the World Coronation series by losing to the character of Leon and his Gigantamax Charizard. However, he was the winner of the World Tournament of Dreamville City, the canon one for the games, and he was also a student in the Hammerlock Gym in the Galar region. So, until that episode, Lance was debatably the second strongest trainer in the world, or at least in all of that competition of the World Coronation series. However, the mannerisms and how he battled, and not using his actual ace, being Dragonite, it kinda leaves more questions than answers. So, I do believe that this is all part of Lance's big plan. And what is that plan? Well, not other than making Ash's victory on Leon the more sweeter. Yes, I do believe that Lance actually staged his defeat against Leon in the finale of the World Coronation series in episode 12 of Pokémon Journeys. So, this is my biggest theory thus far, and one that I want to talk to you about: Lance's master plan for the Pokémon Journeys anime, and how everything that Ash is doing is actually part of his big plan that is also coadjuvating with Goh's goal and also Chloe's goal. So, without further ado, let's get started. Going back to the second episode of Pokémon Journeys, we do see the character of Lugia showing up in Vermilion City, which I still believe that Goh was actually analyzing the psychic energy of Pokémon to get Mew, but Lugia was there instead. And in the Pokémon Adventures manga, Lance actually wants to summon Lugia to, actually maintain the mainland of Kanto. They go from Cerise Island, an actual island in the Pokémon Adventures manga. So, Cerise Island, the Cerise Labs opening that day, and Lance in the manga is kind of like a Machiavellical genius who destroyed Vermilion City. So, there's that correlation there. Lugia, it's draconic, even though it's not, an actual dragon, but they have the multi-skill ability, has their hidden ability. So, there is potential for it. So, Lance knowing that Ash actually went to Vermilion, that is a possibility. And let's not forget that his cousin Claire actually mentored Iris, sent best wishes, and Iris is now the champion of Unova, a dragon type user nonetheless. So there is, some possibility for, all of this to be, actually choreographed and also orchestrated for, all of Ash's big accomplishments. And let's start off with Ash's first capture in the Pokémon Journeys anime, that being Dragonite. So as we all know, Ash went to the Dragonite Island and he befriended a Dragonair and evolved and then captured it. It was an internet breaking phenomena, but how did Ash actually get the information for that said Dragonite? Very simple, it was on a television news broadcast, so the elites actually allowing for the reporters and even sailormen to actually give acknowledgement that this island exists, and Professor Cerise actually giving the transportation to actually go there, even though they got us straight. Just the leak of information to go to television, it's something that no one actually that cares for the Dragonite species would actually do. So most likely Lance allowed for Ash to go there, because Lance now knows that Ash being the champion of Alola, there is like a bigger wall to climb, and he actually helped, Ash actually helped him with the rockets and also the magma and aqua in the advanced generation. And that is Lance's ace, that's his iconic Pokemon, it's a Dragonite, so of course that Lance would like for Ash to also get one. And how does Ash knows about the World Coronation series? He and Goh get tickets that Cerise got him for the finals, but only the finals. The bracket in the tournament, like right in the end, the match that Lance is participating. So most likely, I do like to believe that Lance was the one that gave Cerise those tickets for those two kids to go to Galar. Lance orchestrated this whole thing, I have no doubts about it. Because he was using Gyarados. Gyarados is not even his haze. So basically, he was using the Lancer of his team, the Pokemon that he caught when he met Ash back in Johto. This was all staged. Gyarados was claimed as fainted, but he never had the swirly eyes. He knew for a fact that the referee and the judgment of the battle, it was all rigged by Chairman Rose since the very beginning. Because Charizard basically blocked a max attack, he dodged the other one, and then when he used Max Guard, Kyodai Hellfire landed. Lance knew that something was up. And he wanted for Ash to see it. He Dynamaxed Gyarados for Leon to react to it, to Gigantamax Charizard, because he knew that Ash was in the audience. And the moment that Leon is crowded as Monarch, Lance is not there because he knew that Ash would actually go talk to him and that would basically foil his entire plan. Kinda, because we see a Dreadnought, and Dreadnought is not a dragon Pokemon, but it's in the wild, and we see, Gigantamax and Pikachu Gigantamaxes too. Yeah, but Dreadnought is also, very draconic, and, there is a possibility that, this Dreadnought is actually staged, and it's a Lance Pokemon because of the draconic appearance. Like, there is that possibility that Lance kinda, let his Dreadnought loose to basically have Ash and Leon actually meet. Like, he's basically puppeteering everything in the backgrounds. And even when we see all of the Masters 8, he's the one in the background of it all. So, it's like looming in the shadows sort of way. So I do believe that, this was Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee versus Sword and Shield, and of course the new game actually won. But when this episode was being written, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was the game. So, because episodes take 1 year to be written. So there is this possibility. And we also have, other examples of Lance's plans starting to formulate, even though they don't actually go as Lance sometimes expects it to go. This isn't 100% plan. There are some bumps in the way. For example, with Lance knowing that Ash is in Vermilion City, of course that he would like to battle Surge again, but he decided to give a work sabbatical for Surge to go to train somewhere, and Viscus is the new gym leader, so I like the idea that Lance wanted to tell Ash that the world is changing, but so is Kanto changing, and I would like to believe that Lance knows about Ash's battle record in Kanto, and it was not the best, and maybe he wanted for Ash, to battle or re-battle some of the Kanto gym leaders, and especially maybe Sabrina, because he now has a Gengar, he knows that Sabrina has his Haunter, and Gengar was recently, recaptured and by an abandoned trainer, so basically reformulating the routes. That kinda did not end well, even, in the battle against Corina, Gengar was collateral, even Corina was collateral, but it helped Riolu, but I'm going to get to Riolu very soon. But yeah, like, seeing the potential of Gengar can be, something for the future. Who's to say that he didn't want it for Sabrina to, one day actually battle Ash, but maybe she can't because she's making Pokestar movies with Bryson in Unova, and maybe he will inform Alistair that Ash defeated B, and that will kickstart the Gigantamax Gengar training arc. Lance is being very big brain, like orchestrating all of this in the background, just saying. Like, because Gengar battling Viscus, and basically Pikachu getting, all of that movement but staying, that will be Gigantamax Gengar. Gengar is very movement when he's in Gigantamax form. He needs to, stay in one place. And he battled an electric gym, and he hold his own against another electric gym leader being Voltner. This is all perfectly timed. This is all very perfectly timed. Now, we do know that Lance is a trainer from Johto, even though he's the Elite Four of Kanto. So, I do like to believe that sometimes he actually tells people from Johto to go to Vermilion to battle Ash. I still like to believe the idea of, Saya or Oliver, the trainer with Meganium, a draconic-like Pokemon. It's a plant Brachiosaur, for God's sake. Maybe he told the kid to, go to Vermilion, test Ash out, because, Ash technically never defeated Vincent's Meganium, he never battled Casey's in the Johto League, so there is this possibility for, to actually battle all of these Pokemon, especially giving more clout to Pikachu. And Lance didn't not defeat Leon, because even though he could, he most likely didn't want it to steal that victory from Raihan. He studied in Hammerlock Gym. He knows that Raihan is Leon's rival and therefore he doesn't want to take the victory from Raihan. And the next time that Ash actually goes to Galar, he goes back to Winden to see the Leon versus Raihan match. He got tickets again. Most likely Lance is the one sponsoring the Cerise Laboratory. The League is financing that lab for, you know, all of those Pokemon to be captured and trained. Even though off screen. But what happened after the battle? They met Sonia, they were informed by Darkest Day, they were informed by Chairman Rose, but most importantly, Ash caught Galarian Farfetch. He caught, come on, if Lance knew of the existence of the duck in the bridge, that we don't know, but it was an extra bonus that actually gets added into Lance's master plan. So that actually, you know, leaves several Pokemon that Ash gets thanks to him, but now the biggest one has to be his Riolu. Ash got a Riolu from an egg that was in Vermilion, and I do believe that this egg, if it actually came from Sinnoh, it's none other than the child of Cynthia's Lucario. And I really want for Cynthia's Lucario in the anime to be like in the TCG, to actually be a shiny Lucario. Cynthia knows about Ash's aura because of Hunter J and the Rangers and Gary, so she most likely informed Lance, and they basically tell, okay, so now he's a champion of Alola, he's one of us, let's help the kid out, okay? So maybe they actually, you know, had the egg, basically, you know, conceive maybe Cynthia's Lucario bred with Riley's or something, and they made the egg go all the way from, you know, Sinnoh to Kanto, and that's how, you know, Ash now has access to Mega Evolution. It all helped with Corina and Riolu and defeating Bee, and to motivate, you know, Ash to be in Galar more oftenly because of Leon. Heck, maybe Leon went to the Bee battle because Lance told Leon, hey, the kid is battling, I saw it on TV, right? You saw the Voltner thing, right? So it's not out of the possibility. This entire... I know that I'm now going with, you know, very stressed and whatnot, but I do believe that, you know, Lance maybe has like a great plan for Ash to actually triumph over Leon and go from, you know, getting the clout that he deserves, right? Going from the champion of Alola to the world monarch, even though his Pokemon journey will most likely not end, even if Generation 8 does. And now that I actually spoke about Bee, we actually have to tackle the 2 times that Ash battled Bee. It was not even in Galar. It was in his home region of Kanto, and then in Johto. So, the time that he battled Bee in Kanto, it was at the Saffron Gym. Most likely Lance wanted for Ash to go to Saffron because of Sabrina and Haunter, but maybe she was absent, maybe she wasn't, who's to say? So he battled, you know, Bee in the dojo with, you know, Koichi, the karate master. It's not Master Ham from AG, and it's not even Kyo from Mount Mortar in the Johto region. But, you know, Lance kinda, you know, patrols over Kanto and Johto, you know, the east of the Indigo Plateau and the west of Mount Silver. There is, you know, a connection there. And speaking of, you know, Johto, we actually got to see Chuck. And Chuck is from Cianwood. It's Tokyo's hometown. So the idea of, you know, Lance actually telling the and Cianwood is actually nearby the Whirl Islands where Lugia rests. So maybe he told these dudes, make sure that the kid forges a rivalry with this girl so that he can get one step closer to Leon. He will need, you know, a motivation, even though he actually got a slump. But that, you know, made the kid actually go to Alola. He made the kid actually go to Hoenn and go got a Flygon, another, you know, dragon Pokemon, and it made Go in Pewter Museum actually get the Aerodactyl, a draconic Pokemon. So Lance's thread and scheme helping Ash kinda helps Go as well because, you know, Cianwood and Tokyo and Celebi and whatever more. And it also helps Chloe. This is, you know, all part of his plan. Heck, so Go now has a Flygon and an Aerodactyl they are going to use in the Winter Special. So basically they are going to help Cynthia, the character who has a Garchomp, a Dragon Pokemon. They know Skill Shot, that's Move Tutor from the Isle of Armor, the place where Mustard, right? Mustard, Leon's mentor, actually, you know, resides and trains in his Master Dojo. And even Voltner, Sluxray, his former ace, he actually had, you know, Rising Voltage too. So they have Skill Shot and Rising Voltage, those are Isle of Armor moves. Heck, Go's chasers, they have Urshifu. Where do they got those Urshifu? Most likely in the Isle of Armor, right? This is all being choreographed and orchestrated by Lance, because helping Ash helps Go, and because of helping Go in Pewter, the curator informed them and also Chloe to go to Galar wild area to get the fossils, and Carolis, of course, you know, she got the fossils wrong. Or did she? Because if she didn't got the fossils wrong, we would have gotten a Dracozolt and not a Dracovish. But getting a Dracovish kinda helps, that way Ash doesn't overlap in electric types, right? But maybe getting a Dracovish was also part of Lance's plan. The guy is episodes and steps ahead with this. Because that Dracovish defeated Iris. It helped defeat Iris, right? So, don't sleep on Dracovish. Their arc is coming soon. And now you must be wondering, how does Lance helping Ash with all of this, like in the backstage and the background and whatnot, like behind the scenes, helps Go and Koharu? Well, I'm saying Go and Koharu and Go Chloe, but you get the gist. So you know, Go and Koharu, they are basically the rival Trace and the player Elaine from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Most likely Let's Go Eevee, because Koharu is the actual protagonist, while Go is the rival who captures them all and actually becomes the champion of the Kanto League's Indigo Plateau. And he has the Raichu and she has the Eevee, so it kinda makes sense. And even Ash battled the Raichu with Viscus, and you know, Eevee's all evolutions. All of the evolutions are from Pokemon types that were once considered special. What's left? It's Dragon. Maybe in Hisui, the Sinnoh of Old, where we have, you know, the Creation Trio, they are all Dragon types. Maybe Eevee will become a Dragon type evolution. Who's to say? Who's to say? Lance is a very great genius in all of this, because he knows, and we all know as the audience, that the most likely scenario is that for journeys to last 4 years, we will need a Let's Go Johto. So, if Go got Suicune, I'm hoping that we get a version for Raikou and a version for Entei. So, Go got into Project Mew and he got hired by Hodaka because he helped a Suicune by defeating poachers. That's basically what Lance does as a G-Man. He patrols the mainland and gets poachers out of the way, so you know, maybe he got in contact with rangers and that's how he learned about, you know, Ash's aura because of that Sinnoh and Riolu, right? There is a possibility. Like, maybe Lance is the one financing, you know, Hodaka and Project Mew to actually go to all of these places, right? And speaking of, you know, all of the trials and tribulations, since Lance knows that Ash cherishes friends since the good old days of Misty and Brock, of course that he wants to help Go and Koharu the best he can. Dare I say, in the Let's Go games, you get the evolution stones in the lobby of the Pokemon League. So, I have no doubts that given their serpentine and draconic demeanor, I have no doubts that Lance, while Ash was in Alola, before he became, you know, the Manalo League Conference Champion, I have no doubts that Lance was the one that actually got Misty and Brock their Mega Stones for Gyarados and Steelix. This is beyond perfect, because it helps Ash also get his own Mega Evolution with Lucario, right? And it also masters, you know, the Gigavolt Havoc to become the 10 millivolt Thunderbolt. This was like, the dude was planning this since the very beginning, because even in the games, we know for a fact that Kukui in the games, he reached Lance. We don't know the outcome of that battle, but we know that that battle happened when Lance was champion. So in the games, we know that Kukui challenged the Johto League, or even the Kanto League, but he reached Champion Lance, not Elite Four Lance, Champion Lance. Maybe in the anime, Kukui lost to Lance in the Indigo League finals, and Lance is now the elite trainer that he is today because he defeated Kukui. So basically Kukui got Haaland because of Lance. And Haaland is going to be a very important character, so let me just continue on. So Lance is now an Elite Four trainer, so he most likely, he knows all of the other champions, right? Because he's basically an acting champion for Johto too. Because even though the anime has 2 different league conferences, they most likely just have 1 Elite Four. So They should have just, made Shanin the Fushi gym leader and Koga, the one of the Elite Fours. But anyways, he most likely knows other Elite Four trainers. So maybe he knows Wikstrom from Kalos. Maybe he knows, Drake from Hoenn. Like, Ash got a Farfetch, okay. Send one of your students, Rinto, to Kanto for Ash to get a reality check so that he can go to Kalos to train. That's a possibility. Maybe, with Project Mew getting the Volcarona scales, he called Odaka, make sure that Go gets a Dragon scale. Okay, get a Kingdra. And he makes Drake go their way to, re-meet Ash to continue on inspiring their dreams. Lance helps Ash, Ash helps Go helps Chloe. It all comes together very perfectly, and if he actually sponsors Cerise and Hodaka, that is beyond perfect, ladies and gentlemen. And most likely, since all of the other champions are, on this plan to make, Ash kinda Invictus, against Leon, or maybe becoming the new Leon, but after knowing all of this, having, bigger walls to climb, I have no doubts that Cynthia actually told, Volkner to, oh, take the L on this one with Pikachu for Ash to, for everyone to see what the champion of Alola is made of, because Ash did not have anything to prove against Volkner, but, Volkner was, pulling off the stress, right? We saw the power of the Pikachu EMZ, and if Diantha can't be there to be the Kalos representative because, she's a very busy actress, and Halan most likely will be more fitting for Project Mew because of Mega Mewtwo, I have no doubts that Lance, if Ash battles Lance in the top 8 or in the top 4, he will most likely use Mega Charizard X. So basically Ash gets Kalos Vindication with a Alola Cloud, Mega Evolution against Z-Move. This would be simply perfect. Maybe uses Mega Lucario against Raihan or Cynthia, and Gigantamax Gengar against, Leon or something. Because you can only use one gimmick at a time for, each match. But yeah, this, I'm sorry, I've been rambling for, over 20 minutes, but this is simply perfect. Lance is most likely a writer for the entire show since the very beginning, from Let's Go 1 to Let's Go 2. And I simply can't wait to see if this actually is canon or not. This is oh my god, this is simply amazing. I am beyond words. I really want for this to actually be canon. For an episode where Lance basically says, I staged this, I planned this for every single step of the way. Maybe Ash kind of gets self-doubt because he didn't do it on his own, he basically someone orchestrating everything, but because maybe Lance is tired of, rangering and, eliting over 2 regions, and he wants for Ash, okay, you're from Kanto, help Kanto, I'm from Johto, I'm tired of helping Johto and Kanto, now you help your own region. We don't know, but there is the possibility. Anyways, so, this video that I decided to record, it was all based on a talk that I had with 2 people, fairly friends and YouTubers, PokeFireworks and Starmeister. I'm going to link the link in the description down below, so make sure to follow them on every type of social media. But yeah, guys, now I really hope that Lance actually battles Ash. It's 2 decades in the making. It's 2 decades in the goddamn making. So let's see what, other characters or episodes in the future are all part of his master plan. So without further ado, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. My name is KuroBlitz, and continue on your amazing journey.